20 questions on Mexico and the borderlands. From the Aztec Empire to the modern boundary line. We start easy, but by the double shot, only the real experts are left standing. Pour your coffee and keep score. What is the capital of Mexico? A. Mexico City. B. Guadalajara. C. Monterrey. D. Puebla. The Aztec capital, built on an island in Lake Texcoco, is known today by what name? A. Teotihuacan. B. Tenochtitlan. C. Tikal. D. Chichen Itza. Which river forms much of the border between the United States and Mexico? A. The Colorado River. B. The Pecos River. C. The Rio Grande. D. The Gila River. Which Mesoamerican civilization built the famous pyramid complex at Chichen Itza? A. The Aztec. B. The Olmec. C. The Zapotec. D. The Maya. Which Spanish conquistador led the 1519 to 1521 conquest of the Aztec Empire? A. Hernán Cortés. B. Francisco Pizarro. C. Juan Ponce de Leon. D. Francisco Vázquez de Coronado. Mexico's War of Independence began in 1810 with a call to arms known as the Grito de A. Libertad. B. Dolores. C. Independencia. D. Puebla. Warm-up's done. The border gets more contested from here. Keep that score going. Which Catholic priest issued the Grito de Dolores, becoming remembered as the father of Mexican independence? A. Jose Maria Morelos. B. Agustin de Iturbide. C. Miguel Hidalgo y Castilla. D. Vicente Guerrero. Mexican Independence Day is celebrated on which date? A. May 5th. B. November 20th. C. February 24th. D. September 16th. Cinco de Mayo commemorates a Mexican military victory over the forces of which country at the Battle of Puebla? A. France. B. Spain. C. The United States. D. Great Britain. The 1836 Battle of San Jacinto ended with Texan forces capturing which Mexican general? A. Porfirio Diaz. B. Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. C. Victoriano Huerta. D. Ignacio Zaragoza. The 1854 Gadsden Purchase added a strip of land, now southern Arizona and New Mexico, that the U.S. bought from which country? A. Spain. B. The Republic of Texas. C. Mexico. D. France. The Mexican-American War, from 1846 to 48, was fought in part over the disputed border of which recently annexed U.S. state? A. California. B. New Mexico. C. Arizona. D. Texas. The Dark Roast round is up next. Have you been keeping score? Hernán Cortés's Nahua interpreter and advisor, an enslaved indigenous woman remembered today as La Malinche, was given what baptismal name by the Spanish? A. Marina. B. Isabel. C. Catalina. D. Beatrice. One of the most contested figures in Mexican history, she was enslaved and given to Cortés and became his interpreter. To some, she was a symbol of betrayal. To others, she was a survivor navigating an impossible situation. Which Mexican revolutionary leader, famous for the rallying cry, Tierra y Libertad, land and liberty, championed agrarian land reform? A. Francisco Madero. B. Emiliano Zapata. C. Venustiano Carranza. D. Alvaro Obregón. Which northern Mexican revolutionary led a 1916 raid on Columbus, New Mexico, prompting a U.S. military expedition to hunt him? A. Pascual Orozco. B. Victoriano Huerta. C. Pancho Villa. D. Emiliano Zapata. The mid-20th century Bracero Program, 1942 to 1964, brought millions of Mexican workers into the United States to do what? A. Serve in the U.S. military. B. Attend U.S. universities. C. Staff wartime factories in Detroit. D. Work temporarily in agriculture and on railroads. The Spanish colonial territory, encompassing Mexico and much of the American Southwest, was officially known as the Viceroyalty of what? A. New Spain. B. New Castile. C. New Granada. D. New Galicia. Gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill in Alta, California in January 1848, just as Mexico was ceding the territory to the U.S. This discovery triggered what famous event? A. The Klondike Gold Rush. B. The California Gold Rush. C. The Comstock Lode Rush. D. The Colorado Gold Rush. Mexico ceded California without knowing what was sitting under it, and the gold rush that followed reshaped the entire American West. This quiz has been a tough one. Get ready for the double shot round. During the 1847 U.S. assault on Chapultepec Castle in Mexico City, 6 teenage military cadets who died defending the fortress became revered as the who? A. Los Insurgentes. B. Los Dorados. C. Los Niños Héroes. D. Los Rurales. Six cadets, some as young as 13, refused to retreat during the U.S. Army's 1847 assault on the castle. One cadet is said to have wrapped himself in the Mexican flag and leapt from the ramparts rather than let it fall into enemy hands. These brave young men are honored every September on a national holiday. Tenochtitlan fell to Spanish forces and their indigenous allies in what year, marking the end of the Aztec Empire? A. 1519. B. 1524. C. 1531. D. 1521. Congratulations if you made it through all 20 questions. Quiz 7 takes us back to colonial North America, before wars, before independence, before the borders we know today. Please like, subscribe, drop your score in the comments, and we'll see you for the next one. Same time, same cup.